Alright, this is the tower at Hollywood Hills. Here's your ray pack. It won't ignite right now. As you can see, I mean, there's been some parts used that were substandard. That's not, you know, that gas, that tube, that ain't right. There's just a bunch of excess tubing on that thing. Alright, down here, there's water. It's hard to see. Put a flashlight on it. Clearly, water leaking down that side wall into the heat chamber. Now, I don't necessarily see any evidence of leaking other than rust. I don't see water up here, but there almost has to be a leak at the bottom, a small leak at the bottom of one of those tubes, which means almost certainly a heat exchanger. But even if it wasn't a heat exchanger, even if that wasn't the problem, this thing appears to have been repaired. See that? There's some sort of like glue or something, and it's obviously it didn't work. It's still wet. There's water coming out of that. Now that would explain water on the outside of the heat chamber, but not inside. I don't think. I can't see how it would get in there unless there was a hole in one of these tubes. It's not spraying, it's probably dripping, but it's definitely wet on the bottom of the chamber. This, at the very least, this header has to go away. Now, my experience is when those nuts, when you try to take those nuts off, especially when they look like that, the lug breaks off with it. I've seen it. And so that's the chance you take when you try to fix this thing instead of replace it. Definitely a header, probably a heat exchanger, and it won't ignite right now. I suspect the igniter seems to fire. I think maybe it's just wet. I can't tell what's going on in there, but there's no guarantee after replacing all that stuff that the igniter won't have to be replaced as well. This thing probably should go away. We'll work up, you know, what we can work up, but that'd be my recommendation.